Now, we've reviewed quite a few stands and fans here on the Chronic Spartan channel, but I have a feeling that this one right here might just be the best. A few weeks ago we looked at the KiwiHome PlayStation 5 fan, and that was a pretty nice simple fan to cool your PlayStation 5, and from the looks of it I thought it did a pretty good job. But today we're taking it up a notch and checking out their PlayStation 5 stand. Now, I've got the stand here ready to unbox and check out, and I also have my PlayStation 5 just chilling with me here on the couch, as you do. So we have everything we need to put this together and see how this stand compares to the other stands we've looked at and see if it's one worth your time. First thing, opening the box, and it's pretty simple. It's in its packaging with a brief instruction set and the actual stand itself. Not much else. Like the KiwiHome fan, there's enough to keep the product protected and not too much so you're not wasting unnecessary materials in packaging, which I appreciate these days. First thing I noticed when I saw this, when I saw it in the pictures, is that it looks like it was designed to perfectly complement the PlayStation 5's colors, the sleekness, and the two-tone features as well. Something I mentioned in other reviews is that sometimes the stands don't necessarily complement the features of the PlayStation 5 and look maybe just like a bit of a block stuck on the bottom. And I've always appreciated stands that have a more sleeker design to match the curves of the PlayStation 5, but this one right here is the first one that comes in the two-tone colors. Now obviously if you've got different plates on your PlayStation 5 it might not match, but for the standard PlayStation 5 colors this matches perfectly. Pretty simple unit that isn't taking up a lot of space. It's pretty self-contained with the one USB cable right here so you can plug it into your PlayStation 5. Now you might just think, is that it? But it's a pretty sleek and self-contained unit. As you can see here, it's got bits on the side so you can slide those out, where you can actually put your controllers in to charge, which is nice because when you're not charging them, it means you can save some space and keep that sleek look. Over this side as well, a similar function and design. We've got the space for games. And again, I really like this because you don't always necessarily have the games in these compartments. Sometimes you have them for quick access, or sometimes you just don't have any at all. So when you're not using them, you can put it back again. But what I also like is that the way these are aligned, you can actually have the games with the spines facing out so you can immediately see what games are in your collection or which ones you have immediately accessible. And with it being double layered, it means you can fit twice the amount of games as well. A really great idea, and I really like how they've concentrated on being able to keep the sleekness and the look of what is an absolutely stunning console. Something else you might notice as well is this section that's cut out here. And this is designed so you can put in a PlayStation 5 digital, or you can put in the disc version as well. And I thought that was a really nice extra feature. Because again, with other stands where the PlayStation just sits directly on top of it, you don't necessarily have to worry about the shape on the bottom. But with this one, which is trying to be sleek and keep the looks of the PlayStation 5, it really matters having all those lines nice and contained. Now on the back, you can see there is space for 3 USB ports, and we have 2 buttons, one to activate the fans and one to activate the lighting. Now you will notice there are some features that are missing from this that we've seen in other stands that we've reviewed. First of all, there's no space to put your PlayStation remote, something that doesn't really bother me as I don't have one and never used those features. But the thing that matters to me more is that there isn't the space to be able to hang your headset. Now finding some place for your headset isn't a big deal, especially if you use it on multiple devices and not just your PlayStation 5. But if you are always using your headset on your PlayStation 5, or you've got one of the Sony branded ones, then it is nice to be able to have it right next to the console so you can just grab it quickly. And also the Sony branded ones do look nice next to the PlayStation 5 console because again, they've gone for the two-tone aesthetic. Now most importantly, let's see how easy it is to connect this stand to the PlayStation 5 and see if it looks as awesome as I'm hoping it will.
Six hours later.
Now something important, if you do buy one of these, the actual screw to connect the PlayStation 5 is on the back of this. And that's a mistake I made. I was looking for ages thinking it would actually be within the unit itself, hidden somewhere. I thought maybe I'd lost it or maybe it didn't come, but actually it was stuck on the back there. So keep your eyes out for that. Now the screw you do get, unfortunately, is just a basic small screw. It's not like the screw that you get with the PlayStation 5, which is much bigger and less fiddlier. As you can see, there's quite a difference. And the reason why, for me, that's a little bit of an issue is because to connect the PlayStation 5 to the console, you have to put this screw all the way in that tiny hole there and hope that it pops out the bottom, which it does pretty easily actually, straight away. But then you need to insert a screwdriver into there and screw it into your console. That big chunky screw I really liked, and what I would have rather have seen is a longer screw with a fat head that maybe sat on the outside there. So then you could even twist it with your fingers. Whereas now I don't really have that option. I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver to put it in. I mean, if you're gonna keep this on your PlayStation 5 permanently, it's not really a big issue, but for me, it's just nice to be able to have that option to quickly swap out these. Now I have the disc version, so I'm gonna be popping this bit out right here, which is pretty easy. Another thing that would be nice is if there was a place somewhere on here to be able to slot that in so you didn't lose it. If you're not using it, you need to find somewhere to keep it, to store it if you don't want to lose it. Now, here I am being super careful and connecting my PlayStation 5 and knocking my baseball cap while I'm at it. And it fits really nicely, really snug. Now, as you can see, the colors match really nicely. I'm going to be getting some B-roll of this, so the way I'm showing you now is probably pointless. And I will screw this on so then it's a little bit more sturdy, obviously. But as you can see, the colors match really well, and I really like the black and the white contrast that matches the PlayStation 5. And to connect the fancy PS5, all you need to do is slot in that USB there, which is pretty easy. And as you can see, it will nicely fit in the top one as well as the bottom one. So you do have options. And that's pretty much it. It's good to go. Good to get on your desk or underneath your TV and start playing away and see what this thing's like. So let's get this thing set up, let's run it, let's get some B-roll, and I'll let you guys know what I think at the end. So all in all, a really great PlayStation 5 stand, and potentially one of my favorites, because for me, the functionality that this misses compared to other stands, for example, the ability to put your remote control in there, or the ability to hang your headphones on, for me, those aren't features that I particularly use in those other stands. Like I always say, the thing I focus on more when it comes to these stands is not the cooling factor so much, but the ability to keep your PlayStation 5 in vertical mode safely, and to provide an easy option to charge your controllers and maybe some game storage as well. Those are the things that I find really useful. And for me, the KiwiHome PlayStation 5 cooling stand ticks all those boxes, but gives you the extra benefit of making it look like it was designed perfectly for the PlayStation 5. It makes it look like it was designed to not take away from the sleek look and the futuristic stylings of the PlayStation 5. Something for me that was always appealing about the PlayStation 5, and I really appreciated the design choices that Sony took. So I always feel that it's a bit of a shame if you take away from that. And if you want to get your hands on one of these, I will put a link in the description below. And if you want to check out more awesome PlayStation 5 accessories, then check out this video right here.